Hello, people. Azimuth specifically, hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. And the crazy dancing children. I have no idea what's going on there, but cool, I guess. Anywho, yes. Well, anyway, yeah, welcome back to... Toadis, hello, as well. How's your evening? How's your day been? I hope you've been well. I've got a cat right next to me who seems to think he is the centre of attention at the moment. Hopefully, he's not going to press any more buttons like he did last time. I would just like to point out the nice round number of searches we've made. I didn't notice that last time, but that's pretty cool. Anyway, excuse me. All right, I still haven't made a decision on what we're doing with gaming. If this stream goes on too long, if I start to really sort of feel it, then I'm just going to have to, end it where we are. I believe if I just come out to this screen, it just saves where we are, because it keeps the act progress as it says there. So I think it auto-saves as we go. So that's handy. I'm sort of resigned to the idea of getting through a day each time. I prefer that, because, that feels like steady, solid blocks of progress. But, we'll just have to play it by ear. We'll take it from there. Yeah, so welcome back to the Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker. We last left off at the end of day 2 with some very interesting questions which didn't get answered despite trying to hit all the greens. And I believe as we start up, we're probably going to be... Makes sense, go by here. Exactly, yeah. I believe we're probably going to start the day again with Jaya. Hopefully not more on Nathan. God, he's so annoying. It's just, that was just annoying, the sort of the cycle of, oh, you didn't get it right. But it's so weird. Although, it was interesting to say, look, have to break the cycle of knowing things we shouldn't. That was pretty cool. Jaya freaks out. I don't blame you. The only cure for infectious matters is dialogue trees. Yes, exactly. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this whole game is purely about the idea of just, just talk it out. That's what we can do. What's wrong with that? Anywho, so let's carry on with day 3. Was there something else I was going to say? I can't remember. I don't know why. That's it. I went back and I looked at some of the sound effects on the last stream. I don't know why they're so quiet. I've boosted everything I can. I don't know, everything's at 100% seemingly, but these actual sound effects themselves are so quiet. So what I did was I re-edited the sound effects to boost them louder. So hopefully a couple of them are right. However, see, that should hopefully be louder than it was. Thank you. But although I haven't processed everything, if it has a clip on it, it might still be a bit quiet. I haven't done that.
Hey, listen.
Just what I forgot to do last time. And I've got some more ideas for others I'm going to throw in there. I just need to find and narrow down the sound effects and things like that. It's all a matter of, doing things. But, oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. Because I was going to, right. So, of course, I had yesterday in between, and I wasn't actually feeling that bad, all things considered. Normally, after a great expanse of time on the PC, I start to sort of feel it the next day. I was a bit achy, I guess, but that's about it. It wasn't so bad. Bonus. So I thought, I'll take Wednesday to do some bits and, catch up with some admin, so to speak. And I spent the entire day, approximately 9 hours, downloading a ROM for a game I cannot buy, but we will at some point play in the future, because it's an old ROM, so the hosting was just horrendous, so it took forever. It was like 4 gigabytes. It was painful. I just eventually I just left my computer to do it. It came back at 10:30 at night and it was still going. It's crazy. Anyway, so I didn't get anything else done because I didn't want to overtax my computer, because I thought, no, just let it do what it's doing. I know that, you can multitask to a degree, but if it involves downloading or processing, I was just like, don't interrupt it. It's taken forever to do. The last thing I wanted it was to crap out at 80% or whatever, and it's done at 7. It's all free, but it's 2 kilobytes. Exactly. I think it peaked at about 240 kilobytes a second. I was just like, this is painful at 4 gigabytes. It took forever. It's insane. Anyway, so that's where yesterday went. I'll get some stuff done over the weekend instead. There's always another day. And, yeah, anyway, so I think that's pretty much all I was going to say. So we shall move on to day 3. Have I said? I hope you're all well? I'm sure I've said that. So, yes, if you're not, that is a shame. But if I didn't say it, I hope you're all well.
midnight
Ooh.
each day.
On Valentine's night,
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10.
Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home,
David is my husband.
all on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death when I'm dancing.
You get this day over and over.
Hilda,
I black out,
I don't think she's got long.
And Laurie just,
naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
David hunts,
I can change my skin.
then skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot day.
I can. I accidentally skipped that because when I clicked into the window, it skipped it. That's the bit we saw at the end last time anyway. It's just the intro to the day. That's fine. It's all a bunch of people just reciting what they've already done. So that's all good. Don't worry about it. Okay. So yeah, hopefully that is a bit better for you. Oh, Professor Warwick. It's Alderby as the other guy, isn't it? Who's this Warwick guy? Hello? Hey! It's him! Him guy. What's his name? From the other game. Not contraception. Contradiction, that's the one. It's him. Cool, okay, what's he got to say for himself? Actually, did we see him in the intro? And he's got a poker chip? Interesting. You remember him? Yeah. Oh, and we've just picked up a note for sitting here doing nothing. The arrest report. Oh, of course she gave us some, Jaya gave us some stuff to read as well. We'll look at that in a second. It says, Claire killed David. I've underlined some things to ask her about. I wonder if Bryce buried David. What happened with Ben? Ask patients about the paper spike. Too much to do today. Interesting. Okay, where's our mouse? First of all, will be helpful. There we are. Okay. Dekker's resignation, we saw that. Claire's arrest report. Oh my god, Jesus. That's bright. Okay. Statement of Christian Weber, Police Officer 7691. To the best of my knowledge, this statement is true. I understand that my prosecutor if I have stated anything that I know to be untrue. Signed, blah, blah, blah. Date 9th of November. 9th of November, okay. 9th of November. So is this sometime around the following year? Because we're somewhere in the region of like a week after Valentine's Day, aren't we? Do the metal hand sign and ask if it means anything to him. oh god, we've got to make reference to Contradiction or Jenks or something. What was his character's name? Oh, that's going to bug me. Maybe that is a reference. Because it is the same people. I can't remember. Hopefully that'll come to us in a bit. Anyway, 2040 hours on Tuesday, 8th of November, myself and PC 9725 Holt responded to a call received from a neighbour, underlined, of the Bower House, Western Park Avenue, concerning a reported disturbance. We arrived at the address and knocked on the front door, but there was no reply. We then examined the rear of the property and gained entry through insecure patio doors. We entered the property through this door and announced myself by shouting, "Police!" but did not hear any response. We searched the premises. Upon entering the dining room, I saw a female seated next to a man who was lying on the ground. The man did not appear to be conscious. Both persons were drenched in blood, underlined, and there was a substantial amount of blood on the carpet, walls, and furniture. Jesus! That's more than... Where did she stab him? Just after it, just spraying everywhere. I noted what appeared to be a steak knife on the floor, which was also covered in blood. At this point, I asked the woman to put her hands on her head, which she did. PC Holt secured the female while I checked the man for signs of life, but found none, so he is dead. I asked the woman her name, as she identified herself as Claire Castleford. I asked if she knew the dead man, and she said he was her husband, David Castleford. I asked what had happened, and she said she had killed him. That's easy enough. Do we scroll here at all? No? Okay, this is all we've got. Following a search by PC Holt, which revealed no other persons present at the house. I'm going to turn my little light on. I forgot about that. Light. There we go. Thank you. Revealed no other persons present at the house. I said to Castleford at 20:52, so only 12 minutes later, you are under arrest on suspicion of murder. I then cautioned her and placed her in the back of the police car for transportation to Western Park Police Station, where I relayed the circumstances of the arrest to PC 2354 Hill, maybe, who authorized her something or other. Okay, that's as far as that goes. They don't want to show us the rest, but I guess that's all the information we need. Crime scene report. Why don't we just look at the top of things? What is this about? Oh, this is... Right, okay, not the same crime scene. Okay, 14th of... Right, Valentine's Day, yes. 2017. So we assume maybe about 4 months later-ish. Doctor, first name don't know, last name Dekker. Interesting. You'd think they would have been able to find out his first name. Unless his name is just Doctor. Hey, I'm Dr. Dekker. The victim was located in his office, seated on a chair behind the desk, soaked in blood with an obvious chest wound. Possible murder weapons. Paper spike, desk accessory. 150mm long, protruding from the approximate region of the victim's heart. Might be what killed him. Hard to say. Coroner's initial findings. Time of death estimated from liver temperature measurements to be between 8:30 and 10:30 p.m. Right. Well, we have Mariana, who was with him until 9, supposedly. So it can't be earlier than that, unless they're implying that she could have killed him at 8:30 and left. So it's not much of an alibi, to be honest. Saying, oh, I just went home at 9. I didn't see him when he died. Well, he could easily have died within that time frame. Anyway, note that the victim's body was reportedly discovered at 10:20. So, okay. Surely, if the body was found and he was dead by then, you're not going to have the time of death 10 minutes later. Surely. Unless they're implying that he may have still been vaguely alive and wasn't, kept going. Cause of death. Exsanguination due to puncture of the left anterior descending coronary artery. Death would have occurred within minutes of something. Right? That's as far as we get. Okay. Right, okay. Patience. Clues. Question history. Nothing. Professor Warwick. Start with hello. Hello.
Professor Warwick, I'm a physicist. Where's Dr. Dekker?
Dr. Dekker is dead? Dead.
Is he really?
He's dead, mate.
Dead? Not a worthy adversary after all, then.
Okay. Adversary. Adversary, you say?
Dr. Dekker challenged me. He tried to use my theories against me. Quantum theories.
Quantum theories. Oh, is this good? Right. Who here has seen or played I'm thinking of that game. Bear with me. Alan Wake. There's a it's not a new idea, but in Alan Wake you get the TV programs Night Springs, and they're basically a rip-off of the Twilight Zone, and they actually play them out with actors, and they play on the televisions in the game. You get to sit and watch them. They're quite funny. Anyway, one of them is about quantum suicide. Heard of it and seen some of it. Fair enough. It's a really good game, although they remastered it very recently, and I've got to admit, the remaster looks weird. Somehow they've made the character look less like the actor. I don't know how. I mean, in my opinion, anyway. It's very weird. Anyway, yeah, and one of the early episodes. Oh, he wants our attention? Okay. They mentioned about quantum suicide, where the idea is this guy set up a machine, and spoilers for fictional TV show in a game, I guess. But the idea is that he set up a machine that means that every time he attempts to kill himself, in the example is with a revolver, the revolver doesn't kill him, however, because it essentially moves him to a parallel universe. Essentially, it creates a divergent universe in which another version of him dies, and in this one he doesn't. It almost sort of gives him, the ability to just completely avoid death. Although, you know, he's got the whiskey or whatever it is. Although in the episode, you know, as a final twist, someone unplugs the machine by accident and he kills himself. That's quite funny. Anyway, do you commit quantum suicide by getting in a box? Then you're not alive or dead until someone opens it. Only if the person opening it is Schrödinger. So he has to run through all the alternatives. Basically, it's almost like... What was that face? Well, it's not really... Well, yeah, I mean, alternatives is more just like the fact that he's just literally just creating another universe in which he doesn't die, and he makes sure he stays in that one. So he's got a poker chip. He's got... Hang on. What happens if we type whiskey?
I don't know.
Oh, damn it, okay. I was hoping that... Maybe. Hang on.
I'm not aware of that.
Drink?
No, I don't know anything about that.
God damn it. Okay, fair enough. I was hoping there would be something there. What did he say? Adversary for his theories. So my idea is that is it something along those lines. He has to kill all his other quantum cells while avoiding the ones that are doing the same as him. Complicated. Well, yes, exactly. I mean, yeah. The idea being that the others somehow lucked out, or they're just somewhere else. It's sort of almost like Jet Li's the one, except there's an unlimited amount of them.
Do you really want to know?
Yes.
Dekker's eyes used to glaze over whenever we talked about that. He didn't believe in quantum physics. As if it's something that you can optionally believe in.
It's a nice shirt.
Well, it started with an experiment.
Go on.
Have you heard of quantum suicide, Doctor?
Yes, I have. Although maybe we should get him to explain just so we know what they're specifying here. An extra hour, perhaps. No, I have not heard. Yeah, that's how he spelled it. Of quantum suicide.
Quantum suicide is a thought experiment that tries to explain the many worlds theory. You're looking at me blankly. I can see that you don't understand. I knew you wouldn't.
You said 10 words. Get on with it.
Alternate universes. Essentially, if I were to shoot myself, then in some alternate universe, I'd still be alive.
There you go.
Now imagine if I could actually choose that universe. I'm taking a product off a supermarket shelf. Well, I simply applied that logic to something different.
Something different?
Gambling.
Oh,
I
hence the
set up
poker
an
chip.
experiment whereby I would visit a casino and place a very large bet at a roulette table. Now, I would always bet on odd. Now, the results of this particular experiment were mundane. I won as many times as you would expect according to the laws of probability. But then
Quantum shopping.
I changed a parameter.
A parameter? What? Oh, hang on. What parameter?
Quantum suicide required a loss of life to make it a realistic thought experiment.
Right.
So I simply upped the stakes. Now, every time I bet on odd, I would place everything I had on that one spin of the wheel, and it worked. Well, for a while.
Well, for a while. Well, everything will work for a while until it doesn't, at which point you can't claim that it worked anymore.
Dr. Dekker killed it, and I can't get it back.
Oh, okay.
Well, my theory, quantum gambling. If the stakes are high enough, you will win every time by simply shifting your consciousness into that branch that wins. It's tricky, but it can be done. Dr. Dekker didn't like that. He saw me becoming rich and powerful, and he hated that. That's why he proffered the Hangman's paradox.
Rich and powerful, Hangman's paradox. Okay. Higher stakes than life. I thought that at first, but I think what he means is higher stakes than he was using. Not. I think he was just saying, well, the quantum suicide works because it's life, so this had to have something higher as well to work. Not as in he was going to take it from life and go up. But that's what it sounded like to me as well. I bet more than my life. I bet my house. Okay. Hangman's Paradox or Rich and Powerful? Rich and Powerful?
Honestly?
I see. Yes.
Well, I think he feared quantum physics. He
Is
didn't
it?
like things being explained in terms of science, almost as if he'd have preferred chaos.
I don't think this is how you physics. Exactly. It's weird. So he decided to take the experiment and just... He's yet to explain how he chose the route he takes, so to speak, on this. So he's saying, if you could choose the dimension that, or the alternate universe you follow, that face. So you're like, right, okay, but how would you do that? You just think yourself into the better version. Surely it can't be that easy. Hang on, I want to ask him about the poker chip.
Do you know, you remind me of Dr. Dekker. He
Oh,
always
okay.
used to ask me questions I didn't know the answer to.
Hangman's Paradox. I hate feeling stupid. Yeah. Hangman's Paradox. I hate swinging from my neck. Hang on. Okay, while I'm thinking about it. Jenks.
Maybe if you asked me that in a parallel universe, I actually know the answer.
Oh, God. What was it? Okay, hang on. We need to think here. What was his name in Contradiction? He was Paul Atlas. There's that as well. Paul Ryan, wasn't he?
Perhaps ask me something physics related. What? I think you're confusing me with someone else.
That's got to be it. That's their reference. Can we talk to the one of you that knows who knows then? Sorry, yeah. Oh, right, yeah, sorry. Hangman's Paradox.
Well, imagine a judge sentences you to death. Now, it will be Monday or Tuesday next week, but it will be a surprise. Well, which day do you think you'll be executed?
It'd have to be Monday, because otherwise Tuesday wouldn't be a surprise, would it? Yes, I guess.
Well, Monday does seem likely, yes. Because if you're still alive on Monday at midnight, then Tuesday won't be a surprise.
Yes.
But if you're sure that it's Monday, then that won't be a surprise either, will it? Dekker tricked me.
I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, if it's one or the other, it's only a surprise until you know it's that day. So yeah, you could sit there thinking all Monday it's going to happen, and then you get to Tuesday and go, they surprised me with Tuesday. But, there's not much of a surprise, is it? Because you're still expecting them when they turn up, not just, So it's just a matter of time of day then, not the day itself. How did he trick you? Trick you!
He told me that sometime in the future I would lose a bet. That I would lose all
True.
of my money. Now, this didn't seem likely because I had quantum gambling on my side and it was working. But he unnerved me. He made me doubt myself. And then it happened. Recently, I lost everything that I'd managed to build up since Vanessa left me.
Vanessa?
We were married for 14 years, 7 months, and 3 days.
But who's counting?
Vanessa couldn't have children. At least that's what she told me.
Oh?
She grounded me in reality. I'm not complaining. It's probably what I needed. But part of me always thought that one day I'd achieve immortality through science. We'd be... It wasn't to be, though.
Okay. The problem for a therapist, but I can tell you where his grave is so you can go shout at it. Assuming he's still in there as well. Oh yeah, we have to ask Bryce about whether. Actually, what are we going to ask Bryce about? Did he bury someone else? Oh, did he bury David? That was it. I'm pretty sure we mentioned that before, but it was probably not the right day, so it didn't, mean anything. We were trying to jump the gun, I guess. Children.
Well, yes, it bothered me, especially now that I find out that she's pregnant. Oh, no, it wasn't a rocket scientist that was required, but a brain surgeon, it seems. I have considered putting that neurosurgeon onto his darkest timeline. But I'm not a killer, it would seem.
So it only works if you please it absolutely like fairies. Seemingly. I mean, if you think about it... Okay. So if we're to follow this... Oh, do you know what? I haven't brought up the conversation thing here. There we are. If we're to follow the same line of thinking we've had with all the other patients, where they're actually experiencing what they're saying, and it's real, but we can't sort of seem to prove it somehow, and that for some reason Dr. Dekker was bringing them together to focus on them for whatever means. It's almost like he's that guy from Heroes who finds like the superpower people and then just steals them. What was his name? Silas or something like that? Maybe he wanted something like that, where he could just manipulate everything around him by taking their power somehow. And maybe it only works for them if they focus on it, but they have to really focus because, belief is a bit of a weird thing on something that is breaking what you would otherwise believe, he's a scientist, but he somehow believes that his thoughts are changing the universe, despite however he wants to reason it, Interesting. So he's not a killer. He's Xavier of mildly delusional, yeah. He can direct other people's timelines. There's that as well, yes. What's this? Something different. What did he say there? He changed something?
Gambling.
Gambling. Okay.
Why not gambling? My wife Vanessa left me for a neurosurgeon. She emptied our entire combined wealth into her barrister's wallet. I needed more money. Physics provided me with a solution.
I see.
I don't really know what you're getting at.
No, I was wondering if you just had more to give us on Dr. Dekker. Valentine's Day. Does that really matter?
I was at a fundraiser for a charity called Mind Stretch Outreach.
Oh dear.
Don't know how I got roped into that. I can't remember. But it was full of very clever children with bizarre outlooks on life. And Jaya. It was Jaya who asked me to go.
I keep pronouncing her name wrong, don't I? I keep calling her Jaya for some reason. Jaya. Money for what? Yeah, I assume he just means like as in, to do things because she took all the money. I don't know.
Are you sure that question's for me?
What do you know about Jaya?
Oh, she's Dr. Dekker's lovely assistant.
The lovely
I
assistant?
imagine she's your lovely assistant now. Yeah, she always smiles and makes me a cup of tea before a session. That smile. Which
No,
reminds
the other.
me, my session. Can we talk about my problem now?
Yes, all right. Problem?
Nope. I think...
No, I'm not going to Google... Oh, okay, I shouldn't have, because that was anything, but whatever. Your problem.
Do you know, you remind me of Dr. Dekker.
Oh, no. You said... Okay, fair enough. Okay, so mine... Oh God, I've got to get... stretch. Outreach.
It's full of poor kids with very capable minds. I did give them a talk on quantum tunneling once, and they loved it. Not sure it'll put dinner on the table for any of them, though.
He can't fix his own problem. Well, you'd think even just being educated, he could get a job that's going to pay him reasonably well. Not just, turn it all to gambling. Quantum tunneling.
Oh, you're going to have to Google that, Doctor, I'm afraid. I'm not a walking Wikipedia. I'd love to tell you, but I am paying you by the hour. Maybe look up Schrodinger's cat whilst you're there.
He did mention quantum tunneling, didn't he? Did I spell that wrong? I don't think so. No. Is your cursor on his head or a giant... It's a cursor. Sorry, I'll move that to the side here. There we go. Actually, what did he say about Jaya?
Oh, she's Dr. Dekker's lovely assistant.
Lovely assistant.
I imagine she's your lovely assistant.
Hello,
now.
getting breakfast. How's it going? Hello,
Yeah,
breakfast.
she always smiles and makes me a cup of tea before a session.
Smiles.
Smile. Which reminds me, my...
Yes. It is going fine, thank you. We are interviewing this man who was also in a previous game. And he's all about quantum physics. Okay, so what does it want us to know? Yes, let's talk about your problem. Oh, okay, we had to specify a yes or a no. It's the fake patient. No, it's the other one. This is a different doctor. That was Alderby. This is what's his name? Warwick. That's the one.
I'm not a gambler, Doctor. I'm a scientist. I need more money. It's true I've run out of money for my research. An
What are you
opportunity
doing with it?
has arisen.
What's his research exactly?
Quantum gambling.
Oh,
It's
what?
a pet project.
Dr.
It's got
Wishy-Washy,
nothing to do with
exactly.
Work. But if I don't have significant amounts of money to lose, then there won't be enough jeopardy for the experiment to work.
Right, okay. An opportunity?
A very wealthy group of individuals have offered to pay me
Like a normal
very
zone,
large sum
exactly.
of money if I attend their next private soiree. They don't want a talk or anything like that. They want a practical demonstration.
Right. That's a word, I guess. Demonstration. That's the one. Must have misremembered his face. Exactly, yeah. Just a grant proposal like a normal scientist. But it seems like he's taken that grant proposal, probably lost it all because Dr. Dekker stole his powers to alter reality or something, whatever. And now he's got no more money and thinks he needs to start again.
They'll pay me £1 million
Poons?
if I can successfully survive 6 rounds of Russian roulette.
What?
Now, I am worried because of what Dr. Dekker said, but, well, I can't help but thinking that the stakes are so high I can't possibly lose. What do you think, Doctor?
Well, bye then.
Should I take them up on their offer?
So, why would Dr. Dekker want to fall? Exactly, I'm not... So we have the story, the previous incident, say, like with Tom, where he obviously believed him enough that he encouraged him to jump, and Tom died. Whereas, you've got this guy, where he seems to be somehow convincing him he doesn't have an ability. Tom might have been at his talk. Oh, the mind's... Oh, maybe. Although he said that was this Valentine's Day, whereas Tom apparently died previously. So sometime within like the last 18 months, I think she said. I think Jaya said he'd been around. Tom didn't get to jump. He fell or something before he could, right? No, he did jump. He didn't get to fly because he believed he could fly, but apparently he hit a rock on the way down and died. And Jaya sort of worded it like, he didn't get to fly. It's like, well, surely he had the chance before he landed on the floor. Or, hit the rock or whatever. But if the Dr. Dekker was encouraging that, So he's essentially encouraged him to kill himself. And that was part of his plan, I assume. But is that because it involved taking his power? Like, as in, he took the ability to fly and wanted him to prove he doesn't have it? Or just take him out of the equation? And he somehow took this guy's power? By causing doubt. And now this guy wants it back, but I'm going to tell him no. I'm going to, do not play Russian roulette with anyone. No. Don't take them up on the offer.
No, I suppose you're right. In a darker timeline, you probably said yes, and I'm dead now. I earn good money where I work. How do I stop losing it?
How does he stop losing it? Stop gambling?
I take your point. But I suppose to decide whether to continue gambling or to stop gambling is
Stop gambling,
within
exactly.
itself, isn't it? Well, my time is up. Will we be having another session or... No, don't answer that. It'll turn you into a gambler like me. Infectious. Isn't it?
Oh, and he's gone. Wow. He doesn't green. We can't come back to him. Blimey. Okay. Tom was completely convinced that he could fly, so he didn't. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it wasn't necessarily so much as right, because they were talking about chaos, weren't they? So maybe in these people's lives they're orderly, even if it's unusual. So like they, say Tom gets to fly because he knows that's what he can do. And Dr. Dekker was introducing chaos by basically saying, "Are you sure?" And when you typed to stop gambling and then it came back and he's gone, "Oh, really? Oh, that's a bugger." Yeah, he said, "Oh, that's, okay, basically said, I should probably do that, but that in itself is a gamble, so, I'll see you next time, my time's up." And then he left. That's basically what he said. Jai, why did you lie about knowing about the outreach program? Did she lie about that? Ooh. Oh, interesting.
No, that's not it.
It damn well is. Oh. That was a creepy side glance. Hello.
I'm fine.
Oh,
I'm
I
ready
didn't ask,
for my
but
grief
okay.
counselling. I emailed you Mariana's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're
What?
going to start doing home visits now, like Dr. Dekker?
No. I'm sorry. Hey, what?
Doctor, if you don't want it, don't text me and ask for it. It's all right. I don't mind doing menial tasks for you. Someone has to do them.
She asked you, and you asked her, and she said she didn't know that was Dr. Dekker.
Yes, Dr. Dekker started doing home visits for Mariana. He said she couldn't concentrate properly in his office. I hope
Really?
you're not thinking of doing the same thing. I need you right where I can see you.
Where you can see me?
Checks and balances, Doctor. Somebody needs to be watching the watchman, so to speak.
Slow zoom.
Make sure you're helping, not hindering.
Helping? Oh, God, Jesus. Helping? There we go.
He probably did his fair share of helping and hindering. He was definitely helping in the beginning, but then seemed to lose sight of things.
Whose side?
I think he was so overwhelmed by the patients he was getting. His curiosity just got the better of him. There was a definite turning point.
Does she know what assistant means? Exactly. Point. Not turning pointy. That's not right.
Somewhere around the time Professor Alderby turned up,
Oh?
that seemed to unsettle him. And then we had a flood of extra weird patients. I think it was all too much for him. I think I misjudged him. I hope you deal with it better.
Right, so maybe that experiment that Alderby did where his cup or glass or whatever floated and then smashed on the ground. Magically exploding can change. Well, maybe it did, and maybe it convinced Dr. Dekker that there was more to the world, so to speak. And that's when he started, and Alderby, via this mind stretch outreach, whatever, started sending him weird patients and finding essentially gifted people. And maybe there's some weirdness there, and Dr. Dekker sort of, I don't know, maybe he wanted the power for himself or something, or maybe he was trying to mix it up and not, I don't know. Ariana about Dekker's home visits. Well, yes, we should, yeah. Oh yeah, the paper spike is apparently how he died. Not the soik, the spike.
It's in that police report that I gave to you. You should really take a look at it.
I did. I want to know what you have to say about it. Oh, we're a practitioner, apparently. Oh, goddammit. I've already forgotten what she said here.
Somewhere around the time Professor Alderby turned up, that seemed to unsettle him. And then we had a flood of extra weird patients. I think it was all too much for him. I think I misjudged him.
Misjudged him?
There's just a lot of crazy flying around, Doctor. Don't catch any of it.
Don't catch it. Don't catch crazy. Didn't I see that Dr. Dove was killed with a bread knife, like the woman next to Leech Lady? No, he was killed with a paper spike. I don't think a bread knife's been mentioned since. Oh, yeah, what happened with Ben?
I think that's all settled now. We are agreeing to pay Ben £5,000 and he's agreeing not to say anything about what he saw.
And what did he say?
I don't know.
That's not helpful if I don't type it right. Ben say.
He thought he saw a creature coming out of Dr.
Oh,
Dekker's
okay,
mouth.
that's fair enough.
Well, at least that's the reason he's given for not emptying the bins that night. Either way, it's not the kind of publicity that we need. Shiny, happy, sane people.
Okay, first of all, that is weird. Second of all, her response is, the reason he didn't empty the bins. No, the reason he didn't empty the bins was because he found a dead body. Whether it has something coming out of the mouth or not is it's still pretty extreme. Guy that was killed with a bread knife was in the lady's story before she mentioned the Gorgon thing. Exactly, yes. Her neighbour was killed with a bread knife. And that's why they started up the neighbourhood watch. And then it was the woman she started the neighbourhood watch with that was supposedly killed by the Gorgon. Is that Lacey, I think her name was? But, oh, it's coming back to me. I don't know why. This is sticking in my brain. This is what happens when you build a town on a hellmouth. It might well be. Do you think this is like set in the same world as Buffy? She's off fighting it and we're just here dealing with the crazies. Okay, did Dr. Dekker do home visits for other patients?
I think you'll find there's more than one question there, Doctor.
Okay. We need Sam Dean, exactly. You're on crazy cleanup duty. Exactly. there. Okay, hang on. She said creature. Get that the right way round. God damn it.
That's not something I know about. Some mornings I come into work and still expect him to be here. Sometimes
Hello,
it feels
wifey.
like
Thanks
he
for looking.
actually is here, watching over me. We had a connection. It's gone now, though.
Well, he's
You
dead.
can't have a connection with the dead, can you? Not for too long, anyway.
Oh, ask Claire.
Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Mariana around.
A Ouija board? Well, that could work, I guess. I thought Mariana said that there was nothing between them. No connection with the dead, but I think it's a crime. Yeah. Not too sure, though. Perhaps it depends where you are.
Sorry, I didn't mean I was competing. I was happy Mariana was going out with him. I didn't want to be romantic with him. We had a stronger connection than that.
Eh? A stronger connection? How?
Dr. Dekker and I shared some philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
We'd both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind, and
Right.
we agreed with a lot of what it said. Have you read that book, Doctor?
Right. She's now starting to move into, like, cult recruitment territory. This is what I'm starting to get from this. Cult of the Kinetic Mind.
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples. It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast.
Oh, okay. Everyone has powers?
Psychokinesis is the ability to change the physical world without actually touching it, just by using your mind.
Yes.
It's not just about bending spoons. It covers all sorts
No,
of
you
things
can do that with your
like
hands.
telepathy, telekinesis, telesabalas.
Ha ha ha.
Shoot me, I'm a Kojak fan.
All right, matey. I mean, we know what telepathy is, obviously. I want to know what she has to say about it.
Like I said, all those cool things are in Cult of the Kinetic Mind, apart from Kojak, obviously. If you ever get a patient who thinks they can change the world with just their mind, then duck, just in case they can.
You mean like all
Seriously,
of the ones we've
do
had?
a whole load of shrinking and make them better. Whether you believe in psychokinesis or not, you'll need to figure out your approach with those that do.
Okay. Right, okay. So is this... Is this the game telling us that we could go down the path of trying to believe them, perhaps maybe throw a little more chaos in there and it subsequently ends badly for us? Or do we stick to the logical path? As she said, you know, just do a whole lot of shrinking and sort of getting all those green, you know, dots is what we need. Because then essentially we psychoanalyze all the weird out of it and it ends well. Maybe. Logic is boring. True, there is that.
How do you make people who think they have special powers better? Do you remain passive and support, encourage them, take them away?
Oh, okay. It's totally how it works. Stuff Ducks, hello, welcome. Hope you're having a good morning. Morning, looking, getting ready for work. That's fair. Thank you for looking. It's always good to see you here. Okay. Maybe that's what Dekker was doing. He was taking their powers, but not because he wanted them. He was trying to cure them. I think their belief is wrong. Well, there is that. I mean, it depends what it's doing for them. Oh, Gonna ask, what is psychokinesis? Sure, okay. I mean, we know, but, you know. Is psychokinesis. I think I got that right.
I don't know anything about that.
Nope, looks like I got it wrong. Oh, did I put too many... hang on. Oh, well, I also misspelled what. For Christ's sakes, how many times am I going to do that? What is psychokinesis? I think I had... Yeah.
Nope.
What?
Ask me another.
Oh. Kinesis, as in kinetic. Oh. Why is it asking me to ask her? We've already told... Oh, okay. Don't psychologists change people's minds? Well, yes, yeah. There's like a cult leader.
You're overthinking things. You don't need to ask me that.
Okay. Is that the book she's reading there? Is that what she's aiming at? Oh, it literally just says that. Okay. Okay. So what do we go with? Do we support people having weird, unusual powers? Do we try to treat them by... Well, treat them with support, I guess. But then, how do we... Say... I can only think of two ways to do this. You've either got to support them having the power or support them not having the power, which i.e. take them away. So support and take it away. Why do you learn about the Mind Stretch program? Like, yeah, exactly. But say, take someone like Bryce. Having his power is not bad. It's him that's bad. He's the one abusing it. So we have to treat him for being a bad person and then just let him do what he likes with his power. So that's kind of the one we want, isn't it? It doesn't matter if they have it as long as they're not misusing it. What did she... Hang on. What were the options?
How do you make people who think they have special powers better? Do you remain passive and support, encourage them, take them away?
I reckon it's going to be passive and support. I'm going to go with that one. And
things could escalate. Building trust is one thing, but at what cost?
Well, they could, but then you could always argue that. I mean, people are essentially unreliable. The attitude that's the problem. Exactly. Yeah, not the power. So there's no need to take it away. And encouraging them could be a problem because, you know, could lead to things like delusions of grandeur and so on. So you just need to keep them steady, and any powers they have are irrelevant. Interesting. So why...
Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat. I was at home on my lonesome, Doctor, like I said before.
Well, exactly, yeah. Well, we knew that anyway. Why did it make me ask again?
I'm fine. I'm ready.
Oh, grief counselling. Counselling? Is that right?
Grief is such a strange word if you keep saying it. Grief, grief, grief. It
She thinks
sounds
that
like
quantum
somebody's being
tunnelling.
whipped.
I'll ask. Does
Are
it?
you going to ask me how I feel today?
I guess we could. Quantum tunneling.
I don't know everything. I know most things, but not everything.
Most things. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you feeling today? What? Oh, what does that one come under? That comes under hello.
Oops, that was a strange thing to say, wasn't it? Whipped. Am I all
Whipped.
whips and chains in the bedroom or dominant in the boardroom? Don't answer that, it's not a question. It's early days for a harassment suit yet, what with Ben's nervous shock already.
That's so weird. She must have been given like the weirdest briefs. You know, just like, yeah, you've got to act like a nut job who's not trying to be nuts.
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the
Everyone
author
is
suggests
capable
that
of psychokinesis.
everyone is capable of psychokinesis, and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a fun read.
Everyone is capable of psychokinesis. Dr. Warwick. Oh, yeah.
That's a strange question to
No, okay.
ask.
Maybe she was hired
Are
because
you
she's a
using
nut job.
your mind,
Maybe.
Doctor?
Okay. Everyone is capable of psycho. Where's my psycho? Kinesis. No, I got that the wrong way around again.
No, not at all in my experience. Dr. Dekker had an unusual number of patients who claimed psychokinesis. Either he'd been specifically looking for them or someone had been sending them.
Someone?
Have you been taking notes in our session, Doctor? Perhaps you should check them?
Okay. That was a bit brief. I'll give them that. Someone... Senfording. Someone was sending them?
It's entirely possible that someone is targeting this practice with psychokinetic
Hangman's
patients.
paradox.
To what end, I don't know. It's no coincidence that most psychokinetic patients are diagnosed as insane, or at least temporarily insane. It's a handy diagnosis if you're facing criminal prosecution.
Yes.
Especially if it's for murder.
Mm-hmm. True. Okay. Like signing someone up for a bunch of junk mail, but it's sending them psychic. No. Okay. Looking bored as ever. Hello, Bryce.
Hello, Doctor. I've been thinking about our last session, and I just wanted you to know that I'm not a bad person. I know taking naked photographs is wrong.
And doesn't that make you bad?
But you don't know what it's like until you face the same temptation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you don't know what it's like. Do you have an extra hour, Doctor?
I assume not. Oh, by the way, I didn't text you, Jaya. Who the hell stole my phone? Yes. That is a thing, actually. Maybe that'll get cleared up when we go back for the green dots. Or do we have an extra hour and we don't, know what we're doing in that hour? Problem with your shoulder?
No. Sorry.
Okay, fair enough. I keep paying attention to what they're doing now, because like last time we had a couple where it was like their little animations, or then again sometimes it was in their responses as well, wasn't it? This is where someone can pass through an impenetrable barrier. Is it? Interesting. That's odd, because doesn't that sort of then make it not impenetrable? Or I guess it's impenetrable, you're essentially bypassing it, maybe? Interesting. Right, okay, anyway, no. I don't have an extra hour.
Thank God for that. There's someone else in my hour. A hooded figure. Watching me and following me. I followed it too.
Oh, okay. So he's not the only one. Like tachyons. Right, I see. Okay. Tachyons, they're particles that travel backwards through time. Interesting. If my Star Trek knowledge is to be believed. Hooded figure?
I don't know who it is. My initial thought
Got
was
it.
that it was you. That I told you about my affliction and somehow you'd got it too.
What?
Now I think maybe it's the military or some organization that wants to use the hour themselves. Maybe it's Dr. Dekker risen from the dead.
Mm-hmm.
I need to talk to you about him.
Okay. You did indeed call it, yes. I mean, it makes sense. If everything is frozen, you would notice something else moving, wouldn't you? Especially someone following you. They're not just a person on the street at that rate. Wait, hang on. So there was... So you followed it?
No. You have an interesting aura, Doctor.
What? Pass through everything and they can't be stopped because they exit on a different wavelength to everything else. Exist, sorry. Oh, okay. Cool. Wait. Aura?
I don't often see auras, Doctor. But yours is unusual. Like, you're more than one person. Maybe I've had a few too many drams.
Right. Are we being possessed and we are in another hour? But hang on, but I asked him if he followed it, and he's like, "No, I don't know." Or maybe that was his answer actually, because the ghost. Well, yeah, maybe. Right, hang on. There were so many things he said. So he needs to talk about Dr.
I
Dekker.
spied on Dr. Dekker, not long before he was murdered. I'm not sure I should tell you what I saw in his basement.
Dr. Dekker's reincarnation, maybe? Basement?
I'd been feeling uneasy with Dr. Dekker for some time.
That's fair.
I mentioned how he'd changed before, so I began spying on him at home. One night, the basement door was open, and Dekker was returning upstairs.
Tell me, I'll kill you
I
too.
skipped past him, and there she was, a girl. It was difficult to tell. It was dark, and she was chained.
What?
That means nothing to me. Yes, Vienna.
What? Vienna? What?
Is that supposed to mean something?
He's just randomly throwing shit at us now. It's weird. Chained up?
Don't know.
Okay, I'm obviously being too small here. There was who was the girl in the basement?
I removed the chains, dressed her, and sat her in the police station. There's no evidence, though. No evidence of what he'd done. But she was free. I saved her. I'm not evil. I destroyed evil.
Right. Roy says he took the girl in Dekker's basement to a police station. Okay. Oh, hang on. There was so we got to ask her about Dekker. Ask about the patient, about the paper spike. Sorry. Did Bryce bury David? It's worth asking, I guess. It's a bit of a random one. He killed Dr. That's the thing, yeah. Destroyed evil?
I believe that Dr. Dekker was a truly evil man, and so should you. I know you record these sessions, Doctor. I'm not going to be filmed saying I wanted him dead.
It's too late.
But I did.
So
should you.
okay.
And Doctor, if I wanted to kill anyone, I'd do it in the midnight hour, wouldn't I? And when was Dekker murdered?
Okay. Oh Jesus! So a lot of green there. Oh, did you bury David from Castleford? Was it
I'm actually a classically trained pallbearer.
classically trained?
There are a lot of health and safety considerations. Not everybody can do it. Well, properly at least. Occasionally I step in if the funeral director is short-shouldered. I do remember her face. She wasn't upset in the usual way. She seemed agitated. Her husband must have been a giant. The coffin was so heavy. I remember because aft port side sprained his ankle. That and he wasn't lifting correctly.
Giant? Agitated.
I don't know what you're getting at.
Oh, okay. Who was giant? I assume David, the guy in the coffin? Why was she agitated?
I don't know.
Your delivery just came. Oh, okay, fair enough. Sorry, we asked him about David Castleford, and he was like,
I'm actually a classically trained...
Maybe that's what he means. Classically trained?
In simple terms, I've got nothing to say.
Yeah, he said that,
I've nothing interesting
Oh,
to say.
okay. I thought David was alive. Well, no, Claire thinks David is alive. But we've got the police report that suggests he was dead at the scene. And he remembers burying a coffin and said that she was agitated. But he said the coffin was really heavy.
No, sorry.
What are we supposed to be getting from this? It wants us to
I'm
ask more.
actually a classically trained pallbearer. There are a lot of health and safety considerations. Not everybody can do it. Well, properly at least. Occasionally I step in if the funeral director is short-shouldered. I do remember her face. She wasn't upset in the usual way. She seemed...
Oh, right. Upset in the usual
agitated.
way. Okay.
Her husband must have been a giant. The coffin was so heavy.
And the
I
coffin was
remember
heavy.
because aft port side sprained his ankle.
Like,
That
altered
he
her
wasn't
reality so
lifting
that David's
correctly.
back? Maybe.
That means nothing to me.
Yes, Vienna. Okay. Pet cemetery. Exactly. Okay. The upset in the usual way.
I don't know.
Oh God. Okay, I'm on PC now. Okay, fair enough. That's all right. What are we meant to be gaining from that? And what did he say about this hooded
I
figure?
don't know who it is. My initial thought was that it was you. That I told you about my affliction and somehow you'd got it too. Now I think maybe it's the military.
Oh, the military. Okay.
I'm surprised I haven't been approached earlier. I mean, my skills and the military.
Mm-hmm.
Special ops would be a breeze, wouldn't it? Waltz in past everyone during the midnight hour. Get whatever you want and return to friendly soil.
In an
It
hour.
also makes me think that they might already know all of that, and that they want to get rid of me in case I tell anyone else. Would you do something for me?
No.
If they get me?
What would you like me to do?
Is that supposed to mean something?
Yes, Jesus. You idiot. Oh, okay, yeah, it's a yes or a no. Hello, procrastinator. Beer Seeker, hello. Welcome. Long time no see. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Obviously, you're not well just before Christmas. I hope you had a good Christmas and New Year, and you are feeling better now. Oh, it's an idea, actually. Do you know what? I always forget to do this. Where are we? The beer seeker. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Made sure that worked. Can we use vehicles in the air? If so, then I suppose a jet could work, maybe. Good now. Your girlfriend's outside. Oh, no. She is well, though, I hope. Maybe, is it precautionary, or is she not well? Either way, I hope it's not too bad. And if it's precautionary, that's only, what, like a week or something like that? Weeks are easy. They disappear in no time. Just keep yourself busy. Computer games or something like that. It's always fun. Unless, of course, you've got to work during them. I can imagine that can be a pain in the arse setting up, you know, if you're not used to it. She's fine. Just complains, can't go shopping. Fair enough. I mean, I guess a jet would work, but you still got to, like, you know, say land a jet, get out, do whatever it is they want. Maybe, like, spy some intel or something like that. And then get in the jet and leave again. An hour isn't very long when it comes to that kind of stuff, you know. And even in a jet, you know, getting within a country's borders takes time. So a jet can take an hour just to get in and out of the place, let alone all the stuff you want to do in between. Fly drone in VR and browse the shops that way. Yeah. Okay, so we want him sort of on our side to a degree, don't we? So I guess we'll say, you know, it won't hurt to say, yeah, we'll help you out if something happens. I'm sure they won't, you know, so don't worry about it.
Would you tell Jessica I love her?
What?
She didn't really know me that well, but I did love her.
Only did?
And also, there's a hard drive in the bottom drawer of my drinks cabinet.
Right.
Please destroy it. Please, don't look at it.
We got you, fam. Can work that out. Okay. Right, okay. Oh yeah, we gotta tell me about the paper spike. That where he stores all the pictures. I assume so, yes. Or worse. I mean, you know, maybe it's just like, just ditch the hard drive. Don't look at the computer, just blow it up. Be fine. Tell me about paper spike.
Dr. Dekker frequently used that paper spike on his desk as an example. I'm sure he did it with the other patients too.
Right.
He'd make me look at it, touch the point to see how sharp it was. He'd tell me that because I think it's sharp, it will hurt me. But if I thought it was nothing, it could pass right through my hand.
Thanks for the shout out. Hopefully you can get back to stream soon. Oh, well, yeah, no problem. I like shout outs, they're quite fun. It's just, you know, it's another thing to do. But yeah, no, it would be good to see you again. God, there's so many people streaming lately that I've been trying to catch. I'm not sure. God knows when I find the time to do it and gaming, but I throw it in there where I can. But yeah, it'd be good to see and hear what you're doing. Do you know what? We started playing, a friend and I, on Saturdays. We game on Saturday night, and we picked up Valheim recently. And I still have no idea what I'm doing ultimately, but I have seen some of your stuff, so it's given me some good hints to just sort of at least enough to guide me. You'd think after watching several hours of it, I should sort of understand what's happening, like, you know, what to do where and when, but I still don't know. So, you know, meh. Completely forgets the 10k Bitcoin that was on it. Hello. It doesn't matter if you're dead. Who needs it? You know, destroy that Bitcoin. It's all rubbish anyway. It's non-existent. If you can store it in a hard drive, it isn't worth keeping after you're dead. Right, okay. So we've still got some weird stuff going on. Right, so Paper Spike, he was the... Hang on. Was it sharp? That's not how you spell it.
In the last couple of sessions I had with him, he put the spike through his hand.
What?
He'd be grinning at me while he was doing it. No blood,
Okay.
no nothing. He tried to make me do the same, but I wouldn't.
Ooh. As if I knew what I was doing about I'd just go out and look for trouble. Yeah, that's fair. That's basically seems like it, you know, I mean we're getting what armor we can so that we can okay, I have a cat literally in front of both screens now. Come on. What are you doing? It's not even breakfast or dinner time this time. Come on, out of the way. Ooh, careful. There we go. Yeah, basically, at the moment, we're just like, get some armor. We've got to find Ichthir. That's it. That's all we know. that's our next thing, you know. 400 mil is a lot of nothingness. Meh. Again, you're dead. What does it matter? Cat, I know. Like I said, I doubt he's hungry this time. He's just wandering around because I've moved my keyboard so it's closer to me. He's like, oh, there's room on the desk now. I can stand around. It's like, no, because that's right in front of the screens, you muppet. Get out of the way. Anyway, right, okay, back to this. Has anyone seen the film Stir of Echoes? It's a really good one. I like that. It's a Kevin Bacon film. And in that, he gets hypnotized so that he... Oh. That caught me off guard slightly. That's another quiet one, isn't it? Why are all my sound effects so quiet? Everything's boosted, like as loud as it's going to go. Thank you very much for the sub. That's very kind of you. And I hope that can help you enjoy lack of adverts. Nice sound. Thank you. Yeah. What was the thing? Oh, it's Stir of Echoes. Yeah, he gets hypnotized to like. So that like it's like amateur hypnotism, and they're mucking around when they're drunk, and like they put a safety pin through like one of his hand, basically like one of the webs in his hand, and it's like, oh, you know, you couldn't feel a thing. So maybe it's like that. Essentially, it's like as opposed to being hypnotized and getting his subconscious to believe it, he's just doing it himself. He literally just sort of saying, look, I don't believe this is going to hurt me, and it doesn't. Because to a degree, psychosomatic stuff works like that. I mean, I don't necessarily believe you could take it that far, but there is a certain amount of self-belief in that kind of stuff, but you would still bleed. Well, that's the thing. You know, because it's not just a matter of how much can your body control yourself automatically and not automatically. It's the fact that, well, if you break a blood vessel, it bleeds because it has nothing else to do. You can't stop that, you know. Or he's bored with therapy and he's learning close-up magic as a son. That's it. It was all... he comes jumping out from behind the sofa. Surprise! It was all a joke. Fooled you. Right, okay, anyway. So there doesn't seem to be anything to follow up on that exactly. He's sure he did it with the other patients. Okay, hang on. Where are we? Come on. Did Claire ask him to do something with the body?
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Doctor. I saw Claire Castleford's husband in the coffin myself before carrying him to the grave. He is in the ground. I'm sure it wouldn't take much for the police to get an order to have him exhumed. Just make sure it's done on Tuesday morning when I'm off.
Fair enough. Go to sleep. Thanks. No problem, Titus. Thank you very much for stopping by. Have a good night. Sleep well. Anyway, what's this game about? Right. Okay. Long story short, because this is like third stream now, and they are monumental streams. We play a psychiatrist. I can never remember the difference between psychiatrist and psychologist. I think we're a psychiatrist, and we have a group of patients. We have to ask them sort of typed questions, you know, get various specific responses. The idea is to try and get as many responses as possible. And the psychiatrist before us, the one we replaced, died. We've just found out on like this day that he got stabbed by a paper spike from his desk. He died on Valentine's Day, Valentine's night, I should say. And we are essentially trying to find out what's wrong with our patients, cure them if we can, and also find out what they know about the previous doctor, Dr. Dekker. All the patients seem to have a running connection of believing they have a power which allows them to do something weird. This guy, Bryce, believes that he has an extra hour in the day. So he hits midnight and then everything freezes for an hour before it picks up again and carries on up until, 12 to 1. So he gets an extra hour in the day in which everything is frozen. Although today he's just revealed that someone else is in at that hour with him and it's freaking him out. There are previous patients, one of which was a guy called Tom who died believing he could fly. There is a Professor Alderby who thinks that he can change gravity. We've had a guy who thinks he can do he can manipulate quantum suicide so that he can, not die and make money gambling and things like that. We have a woman, Claire, who killed her husband, but she believes he's still alive. And she's with us because the police have told her to see a psychiatrist, and we have to decide whether she's sane or not, basically. Because obviously she can't be prosecuted if she's insane. We have our assistant, Jaya, who is with... She's sort of there around doing her thing. She's a bit crazy. She has seen multiple doctors come and go. And she's very weird. She's very, very weird. And I'm not sure sort of what her role is in the bigger picture, if there is one. And we've got Nathan, who thinks that he repeats the same day over and over, Groundhog style, until something tragic happens, at which point he moves on. And then Mariana, who keeps waking up naked on the beach after blacking out. And she believes she's got some kind of weird, people keep following her around, not like at her behest. So it's almost like we reckon she's like some kind of siren or something like that. But she doesn't remember exactly what's going on. She hasn't told us anything. We found out today that her and Dr. Dekker had a thing. He would do home visits for her. But then also, Jaya, our assistant, told us that we apparently contacted her looking for Mariana's address, which she provided. But we didn't do that, of course. As the game player, we have no knowledge of that happening. So that's something weird there. We haven't spoken to Mariana about it yet because we're working down the list. If anything else comes up, I'll let you know. Oh yeah, and there's Eaglin, who's the Angel of Death. She believes she can look like other people to help. She works in a nursing home, and she reckons when people are going to die, she can look like beloved family members and such to help them move on easier, sort of. So, what are you doing, cat? Calm down. No, stay there. It's very weird. Anyway, right, so... Jesus, sorry, you were all chatting while weird patients seem to be... Dr. Dekker died, he took over and tried to find out what's going on with it all. In the left side of his neck. The left side of his neck. Paper spike sounds like a flimsy weapon. No, not a spike of paper. It's one of those, desk tidies where you stick receipts and stuff on. It's a metal spike that you slam paper onto. It wasn't in his neck. It was in the left side of his heart. It was in his chest. Psychiatrists and medical doctors, psychologists are not. Psychiatrists diagnose illnesses and mental treatment. Psychologists provide talk therapy, apparently. Oh, okay. If we're able to prescribe medication, I imagine we're probably psychiatrists then. Yeah, if we're capable of classing someone as insane, surely that's our category. Eat enough donuts so you can let gravity do... Yeah. I'm getting there. We had a mind... Yes, and there's some kind of weird thing. Right, so Dr. Dekker seemed to have an extra amount of patients who all believed in some kind of psychokinetic ability. And we believe the left... no, not carotid artery, the coronary artery. The anterior coronary artery. You're right, the carotid artery isn't in your heart, but that's not where he was stabbed. Preston, you managed to remember it all. I already forgot the beginning of what you said. We have been living it. Anyway, right, okay. You're right. This we're in danger of going on too long, so let's get moving. Because we're at an hour and a half already, and we're only on the second person. Oh, thank you. No, that's no problem. Right, okay. where did you... I asked him about the hooded figure, and where did he follow it? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I had to specifically say, where did you follow the hooded figure? That sometimes annoys me, I guess.
Whatever it is that's following me, it doesn't want to catch me yet. If I move towards it, it runs away. And when I follow it past temptations. A bar brawl, an open till, an open bedroom window. Like, it's testing.
Brawl till window, okay. That's interesting.
I split the brawl up.
Oh, okay. It's a shadow, maybe. Till?
I did nothing. I'm not stealing anymore.
Good. I think that's the advice we gave him, or sort of convinced him to follow. Bedroom window, though. Here's the real test. Not Ned room. No one has a Ned room. We've all got a bedroom. And then...
I looked in. Watching other people is somehow built into our genes, Doctor.
Nerd room. Yeah, there is that.
There was an old woman in bed. I went inside.
Why?
Her bed covers were smoking. I think she'd fallen asleep holding a cigarette.
Oh, okay.
I took the covers and put them in the bath. She'd have died otherwise. And no, I didn't take any pictures.
So it seems like we're really helping him come along to be a good person, I guess. I mean, that was better. Yes, exactly. Okay, he's doing all right. You were saying about... He saw David in the coffin and put him in the ground, and the police could exhume him if they want to. Here is Claire. This is the woman that stabbed her husband. We have to define if she's insane or not. Knew it was smoking before he went inside. Yeah, that's hard. He didn't specify that, did he? It's hard to say. Oh, and Jesus, we've been making notes all the time here. Let's marry about Dekker's video. What is psychokinesis? We've done. Bryce says he took the girl in Dekker's basement to a police station. Yeah, and Bryce said in his hour he followed Dr. Dekker home, was wondering what he was up to because he was weird and he changed. And he found a girl chained up in his basement. He saved the girl and took her to the police station, but there was no proof of anything. So essentially he rescued her, but that's it. That's all we know. Should tell Claire Bryce says her husband is in the ground. Okay. There's that. Hello, Claire. Oh, right. There's a mermaid, a reaper, Groundhog Day, yeah. A mind leech lady who saw a Gorgon selling double glazing. Yes. No. She sells double glazing. She wasn't sure what the other woman did because she didn't answer the door. All she knows is her friend answered the door. Appeared to be like a saleswoman. A physicist with a quantum gambling problem. Yep. A psycho rich lady with an undead husband. That's Claire here. This time stopper gravedigger. Yep. An arsonist art gallery woman who seems moving paintings like Dorian Gray. Oh God, I forgot about her. Jasmine, wasn't it? Yeah. Interesting. But we've only... So some of these people, like 5 of these people we've seen every day. Whereas Jasmine, Lacey, and this Dr. Warwick we've only seen once. So they've appeared on different days. Jessica was Bryce's next door neighbour. He'd been taking pictures of her naked because like she was frozen still. So he's like, it's not so bad. I only took some pictures. Like, you're fucking mental, mate.
I've been to the lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David. I saw the girl again, the one I told you about.
Oh, yeah.
She was playing outside.
Okay, nice. She's not a patient. Jessica, no, we haven't seen Jessica. Did you kill her? Did you? Did you talk to the girl?
I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just watched her from the bedroom window. She'd caught a fish.
Bedroom and fish, okay.
She was holding it in her hands.
Weird. Fish are really hard to hold. Yeah, Bryce Bryce is weird because the others all sort of seem to have an ability focused on them. Whereas Bryce, not only, he reckons he can see our aura and he thinks we're two people, or like we're two people, but he also said that there's a ghost of a little girl in the room, sometimes stood behind us. Of course, we can't turn around, so we don't know that. I can't remember. Did he say that she doesn't talk? I think he said something weird like she doesn't talk much. It's like, well, does she talk at all? That's weird. So, did you find out who Eaglin was with on the pier? Yes, she was with, right, she was with a guy she called Max, and she was doing it as a favour, apparently. We have some theories as to the idea that Max thought he might be with someone else, because she looked like someone else. But she said sort of nothing happened. It was just like she went on a date, for a nice old-fashioned date with Max, and we reckon he was like an old guy, and she was just like, oh, I'm just making him feel nice, I don't know, before he dies or whatever. Doesn't usually say anything. Right. Yeah, exactly. But, he wouldn't elaborate more than that. It's kind of annoying. Required contact, though. She'd have to hold him the entire... there is that, actually, yeah. That would be weird, because she said it fades as soon as she lets go. So you're right, maybe... Actually, yeah, that's the biggest flaw in our plan, I guess. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Bedroom window.
Oh, I found the key. It must have been there all along, in a drawer in the hallway. I could have sworn I'd looked there already.
Right. So... Because that was the... Right, yes, because she'd lost the spare key to the lake house, so she couldn't get in. And David wasn't there to let her in. David is her husband, who is supposedly dead, but she believes he's living at the lake house. He sounds like a zombie to me. Like, he doesn't do much. All he does is, like, hunt, apparently, and skin things, but he's not very good at it. Bryce stole it and now put it back? Yeah, I mean, that is... Maybe Bryce, being the most cowardly of them all, is actually, like, the big... Like, maybe he's just, like, some kind of big-brained kingpin of it all, yeah. Psycho-necromancy. The worst kind of necromancy. Yeah. No, it only brings brains back to life. No. Right, okay, so there was that. And the fish? Not the fish.
I wasn't close enough to see, but for all intents and purposes, it looked as if the fish bit her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive.
Animated taxidermy, yes. Wow, that's not a lot to... hang on, Bryce says... that's not how you spell David. David is buried in the ground.
You sound confused. What exactly do you want to ask me?
Do you know Bryce?
Smuggling a body out of a funeral can be difficult, unless you pay the right people.
Right. What's that note give us? I should tell Bryce that Claire says he's been smuggling bodies. We're not just like... She paid Bryce well. Hang on. What does it say? I should tell Claire Bryce says her husband is in the ground. Okay. Oh, right. So maybe not, buried. Bryce says David is in the ground.
Well, that's what he would say, isn't it?
Oh, that's all we've got? Okay. Hang on, let's go. We're just jumping between these people. She said, he said. Claire says, you have been smuggling bodies. Did Claire ask to do something with David's body? Did I? Claire says he's been smuggling bodies. Oh, did we get an answer for that before she accused him? That's weird. But then I thought it was that led to the statement of him being in the ground. Interesting. Okay, what's it going to tell us we need to do? Oh, we've seen the rest
It makes for
report.
interesting reading, doesn't it? I can tell you're dying to ask me about it. Fire away.
Okay, right. Oh, for anyone who wasn't here when we saw it, just quickly, Claire's arrest report. This is it. She, on the 9th of November, she killed her husband with a steak knife, blood everywhere. She was arrested for it, and that's what we got. That's basically it. Steak knife? Knife? Steak knife?
The steak knife was the closest, sharpest weapon I could lay my hands on.
8:40 p.m.
I
Yes.
didn't really have much time to think about it.
Why did you stab him?
David wanted to have a talk about our relationship. Not something any married person wants to hear. He said he'd been with Iris for about a year and that he loved her. He said he didn't love me anymore. Which I know is a lie. You don't just fall out of love with somebody.
So he's dead but not
I
dead.
reacted
Exactly.
badly. I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find, which happened to be the steak knife, and stabbed him with it. There was so much blood. I instantly regretted it.
Mm-hmm.
So I fixed him.
Right, okay. Now we come to the crux of the matter. Fixed him?
It was about a week later.
Ooh.
I brought David back to life. Not with voodoo, not with virginal sacrifice. I just willed it to happen, and it did.
Right.
Dr. Dekker told me it was possible, but only if you're not buried. He says once you're in the ground, there's no coming back. But until then, you have a chance at resurrection.
Okay. She regretted having to clean up, yeah.
Yes, resurrection.
Yes, resurrection.
But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it.
Who said it was
I
holy?
think reanimation is more an accurate term.
Right.
Like, I'm an evil necromancer raising things from the dead.
Psychonecromancy. And the results are?
I think his brain was already decaying.
The worst D&D cleric,
during
yeah.
the week that he was dead.
Well,
Important
yeah,
bits.
of course.
So when I brought him back to life, I didn't heal him completely. Just gave him life in the state he was in. I mean, he's hunting and killing things and trying to roast them on fires he can only light with matches, but that's about it. He's your basic Neanderthal. So I have a problem.
Multiple times we've had to ask her what the problem is before.
I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons. I think it would raise quite a few more questions than answers, which is why I'm hoping that you'd be able to help me.
How long has Dekker been dead? I don't think they've given us a date exactly, but approximately a week. She wants to be classed as insane. Yes, basically. Which is weird. I wouldn't be too fussed about the questions that got asked if you could prove that you hadn't killed someone, or at least that they weren't dead anyway. I mean, surely it'd be up to them then. I mean, she could still be arrested for assault. And if he's, not really compos mentis, then maybe they'd be like, you lobotomized him, you bitch, or I don't know, something like that. But interesting. Okay. So the well, what was she? I'm really struggling to think what she was just saying. She wants to be classed as insane. She can't. Right, yeah, because we just typed problem, and then she was like, "You have to help me." What else was on the police report? Wants you to help her. Right, okay. Proof that you never listen. No, I sometimes listen. It's different. Love you. Hang on. Helps jog my memory. How can I help you? The report says you were arrested for murder.
That's what it says.
Was
I
wondering...
can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead.
Yes.
Fatally wounded when I stabbed him.
Yes.
The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know.
Fatally wounded in funeral.
He's alive.
Is that right? Fatally?
That's not relevant here.
Did I misspell fatally? Okay, anyway, funeral. So you just need someone to see it. Well, that's what I would assume.
He's buried at Henley Church. You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone. One of your other patients was a pallbearer. I never forget her face. You should ask him.
That's kind of a weird one. This may just be about, difficult to... Unimportant news flash. Black cat came in the garden, hid in the bush, and then sat under the bird feeder. Cool. Bryce, exactly. But she's already mentioned Bryce, saying that she paid him off. So she knows who he is. It's not about forgetting a face. She's implying she knows him, a little more than just, a passing guy.
Bryce was a pallbearer for David.
Yeah, there we go.
He's also a grave digger, I believe.
Never forget her face, but okay, so I'll make an exception. Tell Bryce David is live at the lake house. Good call. We could ask him. Or mention it. Whatever. I always go with the I first for some reason. David is at the lake house.
Don't know.
No, okay. Apparently means nothing to him. Dekker's been dead at least 2 weeks because Nathan said the last 2 weeks have been after his death weren't the same. David is alive. Oh, okay, so it's been about 2 weeks. Looks like coronavirus so far affecting my car the most. Engine started coughing, all overheated. Fumes had changed smell. Go from garage, repair is more expensive than a new car. Oh, jeez. Goddamn cars. Breaking down on people. How long is it is between sessions? Right, okay. So he's been dead at least 2 weeks. That's fair enough. It is alive.
I don't know what you're getting at.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear your car is knackered.
I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons.
Like the drone will be even more handy. Is it big enough to carry people?
Considering the circumstances, I'd be grateful if you could see your way to declaring me temporarily insane at the time of the murder.
Only temporarily insane.
To lessen my sentence. Because I'm not a killer.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't prove otherwise. You don't still think I'm a killer, do you, Doctor?
Oh, that's a leading question. That's fair. I mean, that would solve the problem, all the problems right now, really, wouldn't it? Oh, yes, I do believe she's a killer. Even if she brought someone back, she killed him. Exactly. Yes, I do.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay. I've got to be more specific. Yes, I do believe you are a killer. Takes one to know one. Step.
At worst, it's manslaughter. I didn't mean to kill him. I just stabbed him a bit. And although he was dead for a week, I brought him back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean you won't help me? Was I temporarily insane?
Get stabbed. Game over. Maybe. Yeah. Oh God. I mean, by her version of the story, it does sound like she was. But that doesn't excuse it. It doesn't make her any less dangerous. Yes, I can declare you temporarily insane. No, you weren't temporarily insane. Do you know anything about the paper spike, by the way?
Paper spike is an odd thing to use as a weapon. I
Just insane
suppose if it
permanently,
went
yeah.
directly into the heart, it might work.
Mhm.
Or through his eye, or perhaps through the ear into his brain.
Maybe.
Or was it just a frenzied, bloody mess of a murder? Do you know, Doctor?
Okay. So she's a bit cray-cray. Why are you interested? Okay. Do you know what's really annoying? My reasoning is that I think she technically was. But that makes her still too dangerous to get away with it. But I believe it's probably going to be so clear-cut, it's just like, look, are you saying she did it or she didn't do it? Which means that realistically we should probably go with no. Bit less messy if we put paper towels on the spike first. Oh my God. And this also looks like if we want to get a green, we have to answer this. Because it's got 2 orange stars next to it. Oh, for anyone new, the orange stars next to these answers mean that there's more to get, and we have to get all those orange stars to actually complete that person's line of questioning and move on with the day. However, if we get all the green stars as well, that means they've exhausted all their options and we can move on complete. Insanity's permanent, not temporary. She's psycho. There is that. Okay, let's go with no then, shall we? Sound good? Anyone object? I'll give it a few seconds. I think I'm willing to go with no. You weren't temporarily insane. I don't know as if this is going to lead her against us in some fashion. But I don't know. It doesn't seem right to just sort of say, yeah, let her get away with it. Okay. Well, oh, okay. Hang on. We're starting with a well. If only lessens her scent. It only lessens her scent. She doesn't get off complete. No, you're right. So it's not scot-free. You're right there, I guess. We got 1 vote for no, 1 vote for maybe. I'm going to assume Pet Apple, you're like, yes? Oh, do you know what we've never done? Never done a poll. Can we do that? Let's see how this works. Yes. No. Did I get that right? It's a slash. Damn it. Okay. Oh, yes. No. Oh, you mean it's... Oh, right. I see. It's a Twitch command, not a bot command. Oh, okay. Poll. So is it still the bit in between? Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Is Claire. Oh, God. Be insane. Yes or no? We'll say that for 5 minutes. Start poll. There we go. Ignore the initial. I can do it if you want. That's all right. Don't worry. I've got to learn these things. Thank you for the slash thing. I thought for some reason it was a Nightbot command. Possible parameters. Anyway. No, I appreciate it anyway. Thank you. Right, so we'll just leave that there. We shall leave her doing her thing for a minute. And we shall go to Eaglin. So we haven't finished Claire. That's fine. We'll come back to that. This is our... this is our Nurse of Death. I usually have Creator's Control Panel, or whatever it is called in English, open other window. You set up a quick buttons with polls raised. That's an entirely useful option, however it means keeping my browser open, and I just imagine that's going to break my computer for some reason, because it's like, you want me to do 2 things at once? Well, it would be 3, I guess, technically at the time, so I worry about that, that's all. Stream Manager. Yeah, exactly. Besides, it's vaguely done now. I'll get some experience with it at some point. Anyway, yeah, this is Eaglin, Angel of Death. She's the one that supposedly can manipulate how she looks to people. Hello, Eaglin.
I'm fine. Work's fine. Hilda's fading fast. Terry. Oh, you'd be pleased to know I don't have the locket anymore.
Okay.
I gave it back. All of it. Every single keepsake.
Okay, yeah. Right, so she was she had some items on her, one of which was a locket she was wearing. Somewhat's going to do polls in chat too, but you have to set it up and it's only useful for specific situations. Fair enough. And it seemed like just /poll worked and the yes or no was irrelevant because I then put in all the information afterwards. So you just type poll and the window opens. That's it. Sorry, yeah, I missed that bit. Sorry, that I think I had the window open whilst that popped up. Sorry. That's enough. Sorry. So just /poll is so much easier. I'll just remember that for the future. Yeah, she had a locket and a couple of other things which people had given her. Supposedly, whilst she was making people feel better, they were giving her things, and we said no, it's not right. You have them because they think they're giving it to someone else, like as in family members and so on. So she was annoyed, but it seems like she's got rid of that. So okay, she's really happy for some reason. So Hilda is one of her patients who is fading fast, and why isn't that typing? There we go.
Hilda's nearing the end. She's been sleeping a lot, not eating much. She hasn't been that argumentative either. Although, she did give me a vicious scratch yesterday.
Stream Elements bot have Ask 8-Ball thing. Sometimes help with binary options until it says yesn't. Goddamn computers. She gave her a scratch?
It was nothing. I was just trying to give her meds. It's hard, I'm trying to help her, but she keeps fighting me. It'll be better after she's seen her daughter. I've decided I'm going to do it tonight. She hasn't got much time left.
Every single one of these people have goosebumps. It must be a freezing set that they're in, or room. I don't know if this is a whole room or just a set they've set up. I don't know. But it must be cold because everyone has goosebumps. Okay, so she's going to do it tonight. Just call her daughter. Well, her daughter's in Australia or something like that. I'm sure she mentioned she's in a far-off country somewhere. With the actual message Nightbot sent it seems like the poll command worked but had wrong parameters. Yeah, that's alright, don't worry. We got one working. That's good enough. It was only a binary anyway.
You know the answer to that, Doctor. What have we been talking about? What can I do for Hilda that will make it all better?
Oh, we got a note. Is Eaglin going to pretend to be Hilda's daughter? I shall ask. Are you going to pretend to be Hilda's daughter?
That's the plan. I know. It sounds unbelievable, like
Never let
I'm
me
making
oh god,
it
no.
up.
Unbelievable.
I wish I could prove it to you somehow. We could try shifting now. Think of someone you really love.
Oh, there
It
we
might
go.
help if you close your eyes. Are you thinking of them?
Right.
Can you picture them? Okay, hold on. Sorry. I don't think it's gonna work.
So she doesn't have to touch them.
On the bright side, that probably means you're not gonna die anytime soon.
Oh, and it only works for dying people? 3-1 yes on the poll. Oh, right. Okay, so Claire is temporarily insane. Poll has been decided. Sorry to those that said no. Okay. Hang on.
That's the plan. I know. It sounds unbelievable, like I'm making it up.
Need to remember, unbelievable.
I wish I could prove it to you somehow.
There was a
We could
flicker on her
try
face like,
shifting
yeah.
now. Think of someone you really love. It might help if you close your eyes. Are you thinking of them? Can you picture them? Okay.
Nothing to worry
Hold
about.
on.
Nothing. You're not going to die today, Tully. And nothing happened that time.
Sorry. I don't think it's gonna work. On the bright side, that probably means you're not gonna die anytime soon.
Interesting. Interesting. Yes. So what we see and what we remember are not strictly the same thing. Okay. Unbelievable. Have I? Oh, Jesus, is that even correct? I think so.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll sound exactly like Hilda's daughter, but I try and keep it vague because I don't become her. I don't know what she would really say.
Maybe.
I say things like, "It's okay, don't be scared, I love you, Mum," or "I love you, Dad." But it doesn't really matter what their relationship's like because it's not really them. I always do the Disney version. The best, most loving version. That's what my patients want to hear. And maybe deep down they know it's not the truth, but it's got to be better than the reality.
If Mariana saw her on the date, it only changes for the person it's focused on. Exactly. Yeah. So unless she just wasn't changed at all, to be fair, we did have that ourselves. You know, we created that scenario. Kind of like Wesley in Angel. Wesley in Angel. Jesus, I have no idea about that. Sorry. Oh, if anyone's wondering, by the way, in the options you can set like hint words to be highlighted. So that's why I keep picking up like italic words, because they're essentially the vague hint that we should be aiming towards. And then you get ones which are questions, which are the bold words. Although sometimes these things don't always, seem to highlight. She looks uneasy there, like she's forgotten something. Spoiler for Angel if that's an issue. Fair enough. I mean, it's not an issue for me, but other people in the chat might be watching it. The truth, that was it. Truth?
Does it really matter if it isn't the truth? Isn't it worth it if it brings them peace? Tell me honestly, Doctor. Do you really think that what I'm doing is wrong?
Her smile is creepy. It is a little bit. It's very big. Why am I not surprised, though, that she's like a Disney fan? That character is played very well. I mean, look at that. That's a huge smile. Very teethy. I don't think what she's doing in itself is wrong, because we've told her, look, it's wrong to take stuff, but helping people, like, making people feel happy before they die, that's not the end of the world, is it really? No, it's not wrong.
Good. Because I really feel this is something I have
It's a
to
lie.
do.
They will find out after they die. well, yeah, but what are they going to do then? Blame her for trying to be nice? I mean, if they find out that the truth, which is literally just no one was there when you died, like something else, like an angel. She's only ever said people, so it has to be close people to them, and they have to be thinking about them. So I assume probably not. I mean, I understand obviously religious people might want to see an angel, but she hasn't mentioned it could be anything except just like a family member and so on. Or like, a loved one of some description. Oh yeah. So we asked about... What about the locket
You
again?
told me to. Well, not in so many words, but you said I shouldn't have kept them. And what with Terry going around telling everyone I stole them, I didn't feel like I really had any choice.
That's fair.
The lockets, the watch, the ring.
The little bird.
But I kept the little bird Sarah Dekker gave me. I wasn't supposed to mention her.
Sarah Dekker is Dr. Dekker's mum. She mentioned about how they used to talk about their mums, because she said like her mum was a bit hippie crazy, and that Dr. Dekker had mentioned his mum, but she wouldn't elaborate anymore. Did she disguise as Dr. Dekker? Interesting. You change into Dr. Dekker.
I feel like you're clutching at straws.
No, okay. Oh, she says shift, doesn't she? Did you shift into Dr. Dekker?
All Dr. Dekker did was encourage me to think. But the
Right.
shifting, that's all me. And my mum's a psychic, and my sister's an empath, but I was just ordinary. I always felt like I wasn't special, like I was missing out. But I wasn't. I just hadn't discovered what I could do yet. Sarah Dekker was one of the first ones I tried shifting for.
Right, okay. Tell us more.
Dr. Dekker's mother. She was one of my first patients, but she died a while ago.
That's strangely not a lot of information there, is there? Okay, and she mentioned Terry. Let's just clear that up first.
Terry seems to have backed down since I gave the keepsakes back. Actually, it doesn't seem like she's been very well. Not her usual self. Maybe she's got a bug or something.
Okay. Actually, hang on. What was that book Jaya was talking about? The Cult of the Kinetic Mind? Is that the one? Thank you, yes. I'm gonna sneeze in a second. Damn it, I didn't sneeze. Right, okay. Wait. Did I type that and it came up with Terry? What? Oh, are you saying I wrote Kullet? Join my Kullet or else, damn it. That's not how you spell that at all. Kinetic, there we go, Jesus.
No.
My kulut. Call of kulut. Sounds like a name of metal band. Yes, yeah. Okay, so I was wondering if like he'd introduced his patients to the book. So she first tried shifting for Dr. Dekker's mum. Right, okay, hang on. I think I've got the timeline here. Has redeemed Sneeze for 1,000 channel points. Hey, Radical. Hello, welcome. Hope you're having a good afternoon. Refunded due to no sneeze. Yeah. Got that annoying sort of itchy nose now. Right, so she comes to Dr. Dekker because she's having stress at work because it's a stressful job. She's not necessarily depressed so much as just, wound up. And for some reason, he convinces her that she has this ability and that she should try on his mum. I have to take another test. Damn, I hate that. Oh. Have you got like the, is it the full like up the nose, in the throat kind of ones? I hate them. I hate them because the up the nose hurts, but the in the throat just makes me like, not feel well at all. It's horrible. It's messing with future sneeze. I'm cheap now. So not everybody who comes to him believes they have an ability. He's sort of... Sneeze dead with a feather. No, probably not. No. They sort of... He's also encouraging people. Yes, gag, sneeze, and watery eyes. Full service. Oh, you have my sympathy. I don't take them that often because I don't go out that often, so I rarely need to bother. But yeah, they're not very nice when you have to do them. Ugh. Interesting. But then Bryce was the same, wasn't he? He came in depressed, and Dr. Dekker made him believe he had something else. He just told him to concentrate on something, and he gained an extra hour. But where did they get recommended from? Where did they get referred from? Didn't we mention referrals at some point? Jaya mentioned referrals. Hang on. This is Jaya, our assistant. Have I spelled that wrong?
Have you been taking notes in our session?
Referrals has got 3 R's in, right? God. Trust this game to just prove how shit I am at spelling. Yeah, I spelled that correctly. Yeah, see, I spelled that correctly. It's crazy. Talk about spelling things wrong. Anyway, okay, Eaglin. Look, we'll come back to you. That's it, actually. We'll deal with Claire. We'll come back to you. Claire's poll said that yes, she is temporarily insane. So rather than type it, I shall just go with the option here.
Thank you, Doctor. That's all I needed to hear. From you or Dr. Dekker. But Dr. Dekker wouldn't do that for me. He wanted something else.
Oh. Something indeed.
Think, Doctor, think.
A zombie army.
Use your brain. Or your notes if you have to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. That is just one word I've done. Something else you say?
Dr. Dekker teased me mercilessly about my electability. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David.
That's fair.
Once, he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly.
Also, why do you care about a mouse?
He changed his mind about me eventually.
Why is that?
And then he mentioned the girl.
Okay. Oh, God. Just too many double letters in English. Courage of spelling in all active practice. Yeah. God, I read that wrong. Read that wrong? What was right? Oh, God. Well, exactly. So is this girl the dead ghost that Bryce is seeing? Mentioned as mounted. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, no. Because the italic. Okay. No, that is actually worse. So is this the girl that Bryce is seeing, or is this the girl he had in the basement who got saved? Right, okay, hang on. Let's just start with the most pressing, I guess. The girl.
Sorry. I don't know.
What girl?
I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that.
Oh, god damn it. She said mention the girl. Oh, but then there was also, oh, hang on. Not the Giller.
He told me he'd
Right.
locked up a girl in the basement
It was
of his
mentioned, I
house.
missed.
Just for me. And he asked me to reanimate her.
She was dead?
It was Iris.
What? Dun dun dun.
I said I couldn't reanimate something that wasn't dead, and he said that wouldn't be a problem.
Right.
So I agreed.
What?
I just played along. I was hoping it wasn't real. I assumed it wasn't real. But he was offering me what I wanted. A temporary insanity diagnosis.
Right. Iris, in case anyone's forgotten, is the girl that her husband, David, said that he'd been having an affair with for like a year and he was going to leave her, which led her to stab him. He was an optician and she was his assistant. Right, okay. So now a zombie Iris is somewhere in the world after Bryce placed her in a police station, unless he caught her before she died. Like, so Dr. Dekker had captured the girl in Dekker's basement was Iris. Does Bryce know an Iris? Does he know?
The girl who was chained in the basement. Her
There we
name
go.
is Iris. How do you know that? Not that it means anything. She wouldn't remember me anyway. Time was frozen.
Okay. So it wasn't normal or something. Oh, but I just assumed he meant like as in she was chained up. Like as in, you know, not happy. I guess I don't know. Well, either Dr. Dekker had captured Iris, stuck her in the basement, ready to kill her so that he could watch Claire reanimate her, and then Bryce intervened and saved her. Or Claire had already reanimated her, and yeah, you're right, Bryce just threw a zombie into the police station. Okay, hang on. But anyway. So what are we looking at here? What changed? That's it.
Dr. Dekker asked if I could prove David wasn't dead, so I took him to the lake house. He saw that I was telling the truth. I can take you to see him too, if you like. Would you like to see David, Doctor?
Yes. Yes, we would. Yes, I'd like to see David. This way, you know, in, you know, all reasoning, we could say, well, look, see, he's not alive. Or if he is, then there's definitely something weird. He said he wasn't scared like she should. Oh, she wasn't scared like she should normally be. Oh. Oh. Interesting.
Very well. In our next session.
Oh, okay, that's ominous. Maybe she was drugged or something? Or she was a zombie. But if it's done quickly, maybe she'll just become herself again. You're like, you know, she hasn't rotted in her brain or anything. Did you... This might tell us, actually. Help. Iris.
It didn't happen.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Dekker called me from his house to cancel. He was furious. He said that Iris had escaped, and he blamed me for it. He said that I must have set her free after he told me about her.
Wildest option.
I knew it was all lies anyways. He was obviously titillating himself by reprimanding me. He knew I'd never want to speak to Iris again, so I couldn't prove it either way.
Right. So she wasn't a zombie yet. Okay. Oh yeah, does she know about the paper spike? No,
It's
so
true then.
no zombies.
I'd heard Dr. Dekker was
I
stabbed,
mean,
but
yay.
I didn't know for sure. It's weird that whoever did it would choose the paper spike.
Weird.
Dr. Dekker used to play with it in our sessions sometimes.
Oh, he did it for her as
You
well.
know, pick it up, handle it while we talked. I remember once, he pushed the spike through his skin. Yeah, this bit here between his thumb and his finger.
Yeah.
He said he didn't think I'd mind the sight of blood being a nurse and all that, but actually, there wasn't any.
Just like Stir of Echoes.
I was a bit freaked out. At first, I thought it was a trick. A magic trick, you know? Like some kind of therapeutic test. Show the patient this retractable spike and see how they react. But it wasn't. The spike was real.
Okay. Wait, that's got two.
I was a bit freaked out.
Sorry, why is
At
there two
first,
orange on it?
I thought it was a trick. A magic trick, you know? Like some kind of therapeutic test.
Therapeutic
Show the
test.
patient this retractable spike and see how they react. But it wasn't. The spike was real.
Right, okay. Literally the last bit was in italics. Imagine whoever killed him with a spike saying, I believe this is a weapon. Yeah.
Dr. Dekker gave me the paper spike to try. It wasn't fake. It was pretty sharp, actually. I don't know how he did it. He said he just thought that it wouldn't hurt him, so it didn't.
Okay. Right, okay. So, if we're just following down the list, we move on next to Mariana. Do you know, I think today, because these take so long, especially after we even get all the oranges, because we're clearing up all the green, I'm going to call it at the 3-hour mark. So in approximately half an hour. So for UK time, it's about 3:20. I'll just follow by what my live guide says. So I'll stop then, no matter what stage we're at, and we'll just pick it up again after that. Where should we work with taxes? I just thought I didn't have to pay, so I didn't exactly. Yeah, Siren Lady, exactly. Yeah, this is wearing another flouncy dress. Still got her Cthulhu necklace on. What do we need to ask her? There's a thing, actually. Let's tell Bryce Claire. Okay. Ask Mariana about Dekker's home visits, which we're apparently doing now as well. That's not right at all. Paper spike. Right, yeah, and the paper spike as well. Okay. Hello, Mariana. Amriana? That's not right. Me, Amriana.
I'm okay. Thanks for asking. It's rent day, and I always feel a little blue on rent day.
Okay. One of the pictures now. Yes, yeah. Rent day. Why are we asking about rent day? I assume pay rent?
Rent day is the day I pay rent to my landlord.
Yes, that makes sense. Duh. Why would we ask that? Okay, Dr. Dekker's home visits.
Dr. Dekker suggested home visits.
Hmm.
I think he was probably checking up on his investment. You're not thinking of doing home visits, are you, Doctor?
No home visits from me.
That's good. I'm not sure
An
I
investment,
can afford any
yes.
more of your time.
Investments? No, exactly.
Aren't we all your investments, Doctor? All the time, all the energy you've invested in us? Seeing how we're doing, making sure we're growing correctly?
No, they're clients. They're not an investment. You don't put time in to watch them grow. You put time in because they pay you. Surely that's the point, isn't it? What is going on with her dress? It looks like it's got a cut halfway down. Was that just the way it was folded then or something? It was weird. Like you could see her knee, but then it wrapped around her leg again. That was really weird. Okay, let's just not jump straight to the paper spike. Anyway, paper spike.
Dr. Dekker used to put my checks on that thing. I guess
Checks?
someone thought they weren't getting value for money.
That face. Okay. That's Jesus. That's not right at all. Checks?
I actually don't have a lot of money.
You don't say.
Sometimes a therapy check would bounce, but Dr. Dekker would be okay with it.
Right.
Oh, my checks are fine though, don't worry.
Mm-hmm. I guess you don't make a lot of money, selling tat on the beach or whatever. Money.
I'm not broke. Men buy me drinks at bars though. Sometimes I'll get away with not paying at restaurants. Isn't that how it is for everybody?
Don't act coy.
I mainly like drive-thrus.
What?
I don't like crowds,
Okay.
and I find it difficult to stay in the same place for too long.
Yeah. Hence all the
I
moving
guess I'm a
days.
fidget.
Was it crowds that was highlighted? What's wrong with crowds?
Crowds at nightclubs and bars are different. The lights are dim. You can slink around without attracting too much attention.
Jesus, these little tiny bits of information. Nothing to be done with crowds following you all night. Right, yeah. Attracting attention.
Sometimes I'll kiss a guy in a club.
That'll get
and
attention.
He just follows me
Okay.
wherever I go.
Right.
It's creepy. I don't want everyone seeing that.
Okay. Follow you. Follow you?
They follow me wherever I
Oh,
go.
kiss them.
Anywhere. Where do you think they follow me, Doctor?
To the sea. To the sea?
I really don't know.
Okay. Hang on. What's this note now? Mariana wants me to guess where people follow her. What happens after they follow her? So, not to the sea. Home?
You will have to ask me something else.
Okay, hang on. How do I preface this? They follow you home?
Yes. They follow me home. They're silent.
Follow you to the beach. I'll get that one next.
It's like a trance.
What? Like zombies? Just as a split in the middle on both front and back, it looks like. Oh, right. That is so weird. Follow you to the beach?
Yes, Doctor, sometimes they follow me to the beach, and the next thing I remember, I'm blacked out. And naked. Shivering in the sand. Who knows what happened to them?
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Cthulhu does, I bet. Exactly. Yeah. Hang on. So, what was? What happens after people follow you? Oh, we literally just have to ask what happens after. Something beautiful.
It depends where they follow me. If they follow me home, they bang on the door for an hour or so, then leave.
What? Call the police.
Other places, they just disappear. I don't see them again.
What do you mean, just disappear? Oh, no. 2 Ps, thank you.
They don't just disappear into thin air.
Well,
I
that's
think
what
they
you
returned to the
said.
place I found them.
Oh, right.
But
Like
I've
rubber
not
balls.
run into the same person twice.
Right. So she's sure they're fine, except they disappear and are never heard from again. Actually, that brought up a thing about other questions, didn't it? You mentioned something. That's not how that's spelled. Something beautiful.
You've got a good memory, Doctor.
Well, no, the game has.
Let's talk dreams.
Ooh.
Sometimes I'll dream about a light. Deep in the ocean somewhere. I head towards it because it's warm and glowing. Like a beacon. And when I'm at the bottom, it's the most beautiful thing. Like a welcoming sun. Like I'm home. And then I wake up.
Okay. Beacon. And no, this is not Jamaican bacon.
It's so beautiful. It calls me. It's like I'm in a trance. What does the dream mean, Doctor?
Oh, good lord. She wants us to tell her? The dream means you should buy a new lamp. I don't know. And the hell do I know? Exactly, yeah. Maybe the dream is symbolic? Made up? Maybe the dream means you're searching for something. The dream means you're searching for something? I'm gonna go like full on psychiatrist here and just sort of say it's probably symbolic.
Yes, I suppose I follow that glow like people follow me. I still don't know what it means, though.
I'm not asking you to unravel the symbology, that's what I'm here for. Note, Mariana's dream could mean many things, a metaphor for her current issues, searching for something, or maybe she's making it up. Maybe. I don't know, though. Why would she feel the need to make up the dream? It's a dream anyway, so we know it's technically made up. How's that going to help? And what was the other thing it kept mentioning? About... what was it called? Where are we? Blackouts, that was it. Oh, screw it, I'll just click it.
I've had no blackouts, and I haven't been to the beach since our last session.
Good.
But I think I will today.
What?
Do you want to come with me to the beach?
No, thank you.
You're not getting it.
No, you're not getting it. No. Must be aliens. Maybe. Beach for me. Thank you.
Doctor, I think you're getting a little anxious. If you ever wanted to visit the beach, you can just turn up. It's not mine.
But you offered, and I said no. No! Right, okay. Oh, God. Nathan. Always happens. She'd stop kissing guys. Whoa. I don't know. Maybe that's what happens when she gets a couple of drinks in her? I don't know. You know, the woman that doesn't drink but insists on getting, you know, that she gets drinks. They could be non-alcoholic, I guess. Or would she? Exactly. Maybe she's compelled to, just like the beach. Exactly. I guess it could be part of a thing. Maybe once nighttime hits, she feels the need to go out and lure men to their deaths in the ocean. That could be it. So, all right, okay. We're extrapolating again. Imagine Cthulhu, for want of a better title, is out there in the ocean, and she is like some kind of herald for it. and basically it's just like, well, not a herald, that's not the right term, but, like a pawn of such. And it's just like, hey, you, go kiss a guy and get him dragged back here so I can eat him. She, it's not her fault. She can't stop herself. Hers is odd because she apparently doesn't know her ability, where everyone else needs to believe in their power. Yes, you're right there, actually. Well, I believe she knows it. I think she knows a lot more than she's telling, but she's really anxious about it. And she doesn't like it. Others don't like it either, like Nathan here. He has to keep repeating the same day, supposedly, but his, I believe, less. I don't know as if he actually has the power to repeat the day. I think he just feels like it does, in comparison to everyone else who says, well, but I saw you yesterday, and he's like, no, I've seen you 12 times since then. It's like, bullshit. Because we know from the loop, he was like, oh, this is a loop, except we were able to mention things that he hadn't told us yet, supposedly. Interesting. Anyway, right, all right. Where are we? And he's got the same damn clothes on as well. Hello, Nathan. So I said, apparently. Okay, fair enough. All right, point made.
I burned the photos of Hannah.
What?
It didn't work. I suppose because the loss was superficial. The next thing I burned was the rocking chair. That worked. I've been getting rid of her stuff ever since.
What?
There was a day when I attacked a Salvation Army bin, but I gave in.
What? Okay. I mean, I can think of many reasons, but why exactly did you attack a Salvation Army bin? I mean, like, I am big brain, but I lost the big brain in my head. Oh, right.
I accidentally put Hannah's diary into a Salvation Army donation bin.
What?
They're like huge post boxes with a circular tray that makes sure things spill to the bottom.
Okay.
I tried to get in to get it back, but I gave up.
Right. Why were you even carrying her diary?
I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin.
Sure.
It's
As you
funny
do.
because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me.
Oh.
That she was going to break off the engagement.
Oh.
That she didn't love me anymore. I regretted it.
Oh, snap. Not regretted.
I regretted that I mourned for Hannah so long.
Oh,
I
yeah.
regret the grief. I regret all the days I slept through because of it. Had I known she didn't love me anymore, things would have been different.
I'd have
I'm a
glad
bit
that she's
angry
dead.
now. If I had that day over again, I may just still pull out in front of the driver.
Jesus. Okay. That's a bit harsh.
Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore? And thanks for the dating advice, by the way.
Oh.
I signed up for a dating website. It's a bit easy, to be honest. If I message something they don't like, I change it when the day replays.
Right.
It's not very honest. If I'm being honest, I'd probably rather ask out one of the patients I've seen here.
Mariana?
The friendly redhead with the accent.
You don't say.
You've asked me that already. No. Wait, maybe that was yesterday. I don't know, anyway.
You want to date another patient? Okay, that just comes under dating advice. Okay. I think she's taken. Well, yeah, but for how long? Redhead?
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Oh, okay, damn it. Cthulhu. Would you kill Hannah? Okay. Yeah, oh, paper spike again. Okay.
I didn't notice Dr. Dekker had a paper spike.
Didn't notice?
I haven't really seen more than a foot in front of me since Hannah died.
Right. Oh, okay.
I've told you all I know about Dr. Dekker. He started out good, then turned a bit crazy towards the end. When you start giving people more problems as a therapist, that's a bit crazy.
True, I would imagine.
I think that he possibly cursed other people, a bit like he cursed me. Sometimes you
Problems
could
and
see he
cursed.
was bursting to tell me about it, but he couldn't. He was ecstatic with power.
All right. Problems.
I started out with depression. Now I seem to repeat days. Even if you don't believe the repeat days, then I clearly have extra mental health problems that he's given me.
Yeah, there is that as well, actually. So that's a reasonable response. Would have thought the Groundhog Day guy would have seen it at the most. Yeah, exactly. Because Bryce turned up with depression as well, didn't he? And he also turned up with depression, seemingly, because of the death of his girlfriend, obviously. Interesting.
Ah, the curse. Or remembered.
You mentioned it like 2 minutes ago.
It's going to sound crazy. Dr. Dekker said I would never be able to move forward until I came to terms with my grief. And so from this point on, I start to relive the same day over and over again until I made something of it. I believed him.
Right. So whereas like with Bryce, he was like, hey, think of something that's going to help you. With him, it was almost like a suggestion based on the futility of repeating things. Unless Dr. Dekker only had the spike for specific patients. Well, maybe. Maybe once he wanted to freak out. Then again, like he said, he hasn't really been paying attention. Maybe he literally was just too distracted to notice. You believed him?
I didn't want to believe him. I remember I said, you can't just say things and they happen. He laughed and laughed. I think he was going mad. He said he'd give me a demonstration.
All right.
He
Go
held
on.
his hand outstretched and told me to look at the flame. There was no flame, and then there was. He was holding a flame in his hand that had come out of nowhere. And he tried to hypnotize me to make me forget it.
Right, hang on.
He held his hand outstretched and told me to look at the flame. There was no flame, and then there was. He was holding a flame in his hand that had come out of nowhere. And he tried to hypnotize me to make me forget it.
Hypnotize and forget it. Right. So we saw a flame even though there wasn't one there. What does that mean? Hypnotize you?
I didn't forget seeing the flame. He wanted me to forget it all, but I didn't.
Oh.
For whatever reason, he couldn't undo what he'd done. I was scared. I pretended like the hypnosis had worked.
Oh. Right, okay. So if we're believing this story, he basically bamboozled him. Dr. Dekker was like, you will not remember the flame. And he's like, okay. Shit, I remember the flame. Interesting. Why be scared?
I was scared what Dr. Dekker would do to me if he found out I still knew. So I had to play along. Keep coming to the sessions. Pretend I hadn't seen what he'd done. It was awful, because I was suffering through the same days over and over again. But I couldn't talk to him about it, because he'd know.
Okay. Weird. Right, and...
He'd become bored of me, so I got much of my insight from calls or messages he'd take during our sessions.
Oh, wow.
I think because he hypnotized me, he didn't want to play with me anymore. So I got basic therapist.
Try talking to different therapists, man. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Surely we're not the only one here. Therapist. Basic the rapist.
He told me lots of people get depression.
Well, yes.
To become more active, see more people.
Oh, yeah.
And although he wouldn't always be there to listen, Jaya would be.
Oh, yeah. What's Jaya got to do with it? Do you know what? Right, a few years ago, after I got sick, I went to a doctor because obviously I was feeling pretty depressed. I was like, things are going shitty and I can't, do anything about it. And I knew at that time, or, I was just feeling depressed, basically. And I was just like, I wanted like some tablets or something to feel better. That was basically it. That's what I think. But the doctor, the GP I saw, I get the feeling I can understand where he's coming from. I get the feeling he probably didn't like the fact that someone had just basically turned up and was diagnosing themselves. However, he didn't sort of seem to grasp the fact that I had lost the things that I enjoyed because of an illness. Because he was just like, well, why don't you go out and do more and get some meaning in your life? I was like, that's exactly the thing I can't do, which is why I'm depressed. It's like, you fucking idiot. Yeah. Lots of people are depressed. Go be better. Not a great idea. Oh yeah, Jaya, sorry. I hate this kind of talk, only makes me feel worse. Oh, sorry. We'll get back to the game, don't worry.
Yeah, I talked to her quite a lot. I'm not sure how many days of that she'd remember. She seemed to care, which is more I can say for Dekker.
Jaya clearly knows more, but I honestly can't imagine she's on our side for some reason. It feels almost like she's trying to push the idea she's on our side, which makes her feel, not what you said, but what your GP said. I hear that too many times. Oh, I see, right, okay, yeah. Full orange, hooray, yeah. No, yeah, it's, sometimes you just got to take these things, that's what they are, They can't all, GPs for you. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. Other times they've just got to do what they think is best. They're only people, I guess. Anyway. I don't know. Does she... Hang on. We just got a note, didn't we? Nathan says he talked to Jara a lot. Should ask her. I was just going to say, should we talk to Jara about Nathan? Do you talk to Nathan?
I didn't really speak to Nathan that much at all, but I have this strange feeling that I know him really well. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Right, okay. I hurt when he moves, and mine referred me to physio. Yeah, that's the thing. I can understand that obviously physiotherapy is there because any range of movement has to be guided by someone who knows well. I mean, you think a GP would know that as well. They may not be trained physiotherapists, but still, they understand all the things that are involved with the movement of the body. Surely if they know all the parts, they know how they interact with each other. That's, the theory. So I can understand sending you to a specialist to say, look, say like, you've torn a muscle or something, and they're like, okay, we need to make sure that you recover that muscle properly rather than just letting it heal badly or something like that. So I completely understand that, of course. Physio has a point. But when you're just like, look, I can't do something, and the GP's just like, okay, I'm going to send you to someone who's going to ask you to do that only. You're like, that's not how that works. You should know that there's something wrong here, I don't think you can physio yourself out of certain things, That's... Joe, I also think I'm starting to believe that GPs also really suffer from an idea of not being able to accept the fact that they can't do anything. I mean, I wonder what kind of position that would put them in anyway. If you went to a doctor and you say, I have a problem, like I don't know, maybe not life-threatening, obviously, but, it's just like, I have an issue and it needs fixing. And they go, I don't know. I can't fix it for you. Where does that leave them? I mean, can you imagine someone walking out of a doctor's office and just going, well, they said they don't know. They'd want a second or third opinion. They'd probably want, every test under the sun. And maybe GPs sometimes are just like, I don't know. I don't know. So they just have to be seen to be doing something because they're like, well, I don't know, but maybe this guy does. So I'll send you to them. That's when they're saying paracetamol. I see you've spoken to doctors before. Anyway, okay. Do you know what? We'll call it there for today. We haven't got the greens. What we're looking for here is a green dot. That means we've got everybody. We found the key point, so we can move on technically, but we're not going to because that would save the day. What we're going to is just cut back to, I believe, cut back to here. Main menu. There we are. So oh my god, we've still got like another 103 responses to find if we want to clear everything out. Act progress is 100%. Nice. Overall progress 63. So we jumped up quite a bit. We're these days taking less and less, I think, to progress, because the first day was like 15%. We were like, oh my god, that's going to take forever. I think we're doing all right. So that's that. Yeah. But I think what we'll do is we'll call it there, because it's nearly the 3-hour mark. The end of last. Exactly. Yeah. So we're doing great. It's that's a nice jump. Let me turn the volume on my phone down so I don't deafen people. We will oh, I know where we're going to go today. We are going to go to the Grunkle, who is playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've been watching him play that for the last few days. Thanks for the stream. No, thank you for lurking stuff, Alex. I appreciate you being here. I hope your day is going well. Right, anyway, oh yeah, sorry, I was saying we properly combines. Right, okay, where are we? Let's cut to an end screen. Here we are. Right. So yes, we'll cut it there, and we'll come back on Tuesday and carry on. We'll get the greens and then move on to the next day. We'll just take it in pieces like that. This sort of all oranges seems like a good point to start. 24% for day 2 and 3. Yes. So that's not so bad. So we may be getting near the end at this rate. Maybe a day or 2 more. At most, I would have said. Thanks for streaming. Good stream. So many nutters, exactly. Yes. No, thank you all for coming. I appreciate you all being here. We'll oh, do you know what? I need to set up my thingy. What should we call it? Not raid. There we are. Underscore. Did I spell that right? Almost certainly not, because that's not how that's spelled. There's no brackets in there at all. Grunkle? There we are, that's him. Yeah, he's playing Breath of the Wild. I've been watching him play just because I've seen it before, so spoilers for the game. But he is quite family friendly, but there may be a little bit of swearing if you're interested. But he's also just hectic. He's mad as hell. So I recommend him as a viewer. He's madness. He's very close. In fact, he's just broken his 700 follower goal that he was aiming for. I don't know what his next goal is, but it could be interesting. I haven't set up a raid message yet, but I will do so. It was one of those things I was going to do yesterday and didn't get around to. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming. It was good to see you. I'm enjoying the game, of course, and I'm glad we're moving on through. And yeah, so just we'll carry on Tuesday, and we'll move on from there. All being well. Have a good weekend, everybody. Just take care of yourselves. Be a seeker. I hope your girlfriend feels better soon, and that she doesn't go too mad before she's allowed out. And just everyone else feel better. Have a good weekend. And I'll see you around on the internet, if not another day on here. Yeah. So thanks for coming, everybody. And we shall swap to the end screen and raid. Bye, everybody.